a ton of time and energy to create, and if you're enjoying watching, don't forget to click that button so you don't miss out on any future content. So let's just go really far out into the nether and make a portal. Oh, we're actually in a cave already. I'm pretty sure that deep darks only spawn under mountains, and we're in an ocean, so... Whoa! I did not expect to find one that quickly. Oh my gosh, 2 in a single chest already? If you're wondering how I already have so many apples, I collected most of these from desert temples in the past. It's one of my personal goals for the world to eventually get 1,000 enchanted golden apples. And with them being so common now, I might actually be able to make that happen. Now, let's finish looting this city. I did not know that skeleton skulls could generate in here. Yeah, why not? Let's collect those too. And that's the second city done. I actually streamed the next couple of cities and got a ton of loot from them until the warden switch turned off randomly. Oh, looks like there's another chest there. Why did that shriek? That's not supposed to happen. Wait, maybe it's because I broke the chest. That's a warden, that's a warden. Leave, leave, leave. I've seen too many videos of people dying to the warden. Did the machine break? Like, what happened? The warden wasn't supposed to spawn. Well, this side seems to be working. Oh, it's because I logged out of the world and that unloaded the machine. Okay then, while we continue, I gotta remember not to leave the world so that doesn't happen again. So back to it then. Geez, this city had 6 enchanted apples inside of it. And as the cities got checked off, I approached the first major milestone. Oh yes, that's the 64th apple. And now I have an entire stack. That is so beautiful. I also thought it'd be interesting to try and collect all of the diamond tools we find to see how many we can get by the end. So I've been looting cities for about 5 hours now, and we just finished the 25th city. So yay. But I think it's time to play a little game because I'm getting bored. I want to see how many enchanted apples I can find in 1 hour. According to this website, these are all of the mountain biomes, and under most of the mountains is a city. To maximize the amount of apples I get in 1 hour, we can simply fly to these mountains and then mine down and hope to get lucky. Timer starts in 3, 2, 1. There's our first, second, yo, 2 in 1 chest. Oh, 4? Someone please tell me the odds of that. Jeez. That's 30 minutes. That is beautiful landscape. I'm gonna just mark these coordinates in case I ever want to build here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's time. Can I please count that one? Well, anyways, in a single hour, we got 21, 22 if you count that last one, and that averages to 1 every 3 minutes. That is really fast. Just keep in mind, I'm only showing you the enchanted apples I find, but at the end of the video, you're gonna see all of the loot, assuming I survive, of course. Come on, be honest, did you think it was real for even 1 second? And that is the 50th city rated, exactly halfway. Ooh, look, it's a savannah village. Now, you may or may not know this, but sometimes inside of these chests, you can find tall grass. Yes, and these are special because this is the only way you can obtain this item. While we're exploring, let's just make sure to check these villages for the chests. The spruce villages are the same as well, except they have the tall fern item. Well, then, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. As I continued raiding cities, I streamed the whole process on the Discord server. If you'd like to come hang out and chat with me, there's a link in the description. Holy wow, this is a beautiful area. I gotta say, the Caves and Cliffs update has gotta be one of my favorites. When I wasn't getting distracted by the mountains, I also managed to watch 2 movies and listen to half of the Hobbit audiobook. That book is 11 hours long, so that's saying something. All of this city raiding really made me think to myself, these cities were supposed to be the most dangerous place in the world, but instead they're actually the safest. I wonder when Mojang is gonna fix this method. Until then,
that was easy.
Yes, I really did buy a "that was easy" button just for this video. We only got 25 more cities to raid, and I think to keep myself interested, I'm gonna press that button every time I complete one. Then it's time to stop putting it off, and let's do this.
That was easy.
That's 80 done.
That was easy. That was easy.
85 done.
That was easy.
95 cities done.
Ow.
Okay, I just found 8 enchanted golden apples in one city. That has got to be rare. Wow, that's really cool. I've never seen a woodland mansion inside of a mountain before. And this is the final city. Geez, that's a lot of apples. No way, the final city, I just got 7 enchanted apples.
That was easy.
Oh, it feels good to be done. Now let's just head back and see all of the loot. Wait, I'm over 70,000 blocks from spawn. To get back, I'm gonna quickly make a nether portal. By using ladders and an ender pearl, we can glitch on top of the ceiling. And now because it's the nether, we actually need to crouch all the way back for 8,000 blocks. I'm kidding, that would take forever. Okay then, here we are. These are all of the shulker boxes full of loot from 100 ancient cities. Let's quickly sort everything out. First of all, the thing that everyone was wondering, I got over 5.5 double chests of diamond hose. That's roughly 3 diamond hose per city on average. What am I gonna use all of these for? Next up, we have over 3 double chests of other side discs. Yeah, that's not obsessive at all. We also have over a double chest of amethyst shards, and then about 19 stacks of disc shards, and all of these Swift Sneak 3 books. This chest over here is the valuable one. So over 3 stacks of skeleton skulls, enchanted golden apples. Keep in mind that I originally had 37, so that means in all of the ancient cities, I found a total of 243 apples, or roughly 2.4 per city. Finally, we also got all of these diamonds, plants, and other things. That's really not bad at all. And saying it only took me about 20 hours, I'd call that a decent haul. Just before we put these catalysts into the storage, I want to try something. Okay, I'm so sorry, sheep, but nice. I still can't believe how many enchanted golden apples we have. What's that? So my remaining mega projects require a ton of new blocks. We should put everything on hold and build some more farms. I'm gonna transform this entire mushroom island into a full medieval kingdom with over 100 houses, a castle, a massive dragon, boats, and a ton of other crazy secrets. This video contains over 300 hours of work and is by far my most ambitious project ever. Make sure to stick around to the end and I promise you won't regret it. So about 8 months ago, when I was exploring, I happened across this mushroom island. I thought it'd be pretty cool to make a base here. But the thing is, to build anything here, these mushrooms first need to go. Okay, now that the mushrooms are gone, I'd like to begin with terraforming the shape of this island. Wait, oh my gosh, I got a sick idea. You see that pool there? Doesn't it kind of look like an eye of a skull? Oh, I could put another eye there and maybe a mouth below. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly try to shape this out because it would be so cool to make this island into a skull. To get the correct shape, I did use a few photos to trace it, but then I had to keep flying up and down to make sure everything was correct. Well, here we are. It's looking pretty fancy, except I lied. It looks horrible. We need to get rid of all of this mycelium. I think I just have a natural hatred towards all mushrooms or something. So there are pretty much 2 ways to do this. The first is to cover it all in water. That will convert the mycelium into dirt, where we could then place grass and it would spread. However, that method is pretty slow. So then we could try the second approach of covering all of the blocks in netherrack. Afterwards, we could remove the netherrack and should only have dirt. Oh man, there are over 100,000 blocks to cover. Here is the first block. Alright, it has been 15 hours and I have turned the entire place into a grassy oasis. Next up, it's time to terraform this entire island. I'm gonna first fill in all of these open spots, and then I'm gonna make a platform for the future castle. It looks like the inner parts also need to be terraformed. I first cleared all of the water away, and then mined them down. From there, I replaced the floors and the walls to make them look much more rough and random. After I finished that, I spent several hours mining all of this flat land around the island down so it would look more natural. Now that we finished that, I kind of want to connect these floating parts to the ground. I think we could use cobblestone, andesite, and stone to do this. This required building an additional cobblestone farm, as well as a super smelter to cook all of it into normal stone. And now I gotta mine a whole bunch of andesite. Perfect, we got all of our materials and now it's time to terraform. Because I was underwater for such a long time, I also needed a conduit. But to make the conduit, I needed a drown farm so that I could get the nautilus shells to make the conduit. Well, our island is fully terraformed and it only took 150 hours and countless YouTube streams. I do, however, think this is a good time to begin planning the city. I'd first like to put a castle up there somewhere, and maybe leading up to it we can have a bridge. Just kidding, I lied. Actually 2 bridges. Next, I think we should begin working on the castle. I actually made a full separate video on building this castle, so I highly recommend checking that out first. But basically, I had to shape the castle, and then using over 80,000 blocks, I built up walls, a roof, towers, courtyards, houses, and this thing. Let's not talk about that. All of this required building an additional dripstone farm, netherwort farm, a villager breeder, villager trading hall, an iron farm, a dragon egg duper, sand duper, and a concrete converter. Yup, all in all, I spent about 200 hours making this entire island into what it is. But now this is where the video is going to get even more insane, because today I'm going to collect over 400,000 blocks to prepare for the surrounding city. I've made a full list of all the items I will need for this project, but the thing is, some of these are really difficult to get large quantities of. So the plan for today is to build all those farms for these items. First of all, we're going to need a bunch of wood, but to store the wood, we're going to need shulker boxes. My old shulker farm kind of broke, so the first farm we're going to be building is a shulker farm. It looks like there's a big list of items required. First up, scaffolding, smooth stone slabs, soul sand, buttons, trapdoors, glass, and... Alright, that should be everything. Now to build this farm, I was thinking that in the industrial district with all the other farms would be best. Well then, it's time to begin. I'm putting a bunch of snowmen in here. I guess these attack the shulker and make it work. I also needed to make this super easy snow farm for all of the golems. Okay, now, we need to spawn an endermite in here. And get into the minecart. And that should be the last block of the farm. Now we actually need to get a shulker into the farm. And if I recall, yes, a while back, I actually managed to get a few shulkers into the overworld at spawn. So let's quickly make a path to the place. If I could please stop getting hit, minecart. Yes, there he goes. Move it, buddy. Drop in, please. And it should be working. Yes, we are getting shells. However, once these shulkers spawn on these spots, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot faster. I think if I quickly build a chunk loader above the farm, now while we work on our other projects, the farm will AFK and should get these shulkers. Although these shulkers are just half of the problem. To make a shulker box, you need 2 shells and a chest. To make a chest, that's 8 wooden planks. Say I wanted to make several thousand shulker boxes, I would need a ton of wood. So I think our next farm will be a wood farm. I had a really cool idea for a wood farm area. Basically, there are 9 different types of wood in game. Now I've researched high and I've researched low, and I've found really good farms for each of these woods. Now, something that needs to be taken into account is that each of these farms require a ton of bone meal to fuel them. So what if we built all 9 farms in one area and then make a crazy bone meal farm on top of that? After that, we could create tubes that link all of them to the bone meal farms. I actually think this is a really cool idea, but first I need to find where I'm going to build these farms. Possibly out here on the ocean? Because I do have a bunch of other farms out here, it might be a good spot. The first wood farm we're going to be building is going to be a mangrove farm. This new wood came with everyone's favorite update 1.19. The mangrove color is really nice, and I'm sure that on the castle island I'll use a lot of it. So let's follow the tutorial and build this thing. This one requires some stone bricks, and for some reason a bunch of stripped oak logs. This is going to be satisfying. Perfect. Now a ton of redstone stuff. Let's also grab some chests for storage, and I think that should be everything. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and build the farm. Nice, that was actually really easy to follow. To test it, we need some propagules, and then to place them here while it's running, Holy cow, that's all of the wood from like 30 seconds of running it. Although to let that farm AFK, I do need to make a propagule farm, but I'm gonna make that one later. Next up, we have another relatively simple farm, the Nether Trees farm. The cool thing about this is that it doesn't actually need a player to run. That essentially means it can be chunk loaded and will be producing infinite wood. There we are. To run this, we're gonna need a ton of bone meal, which I do not have. So before we test that one, I wanna build up the bone meal farm. Jeez, that's a lot of items. For some reason, this farm requires like 400 target blocks, each of which require a hay bale. Do we have any hay? Not much. Well, I have seen people go to villages and get the hay bales. Why are there so many iron golems? And that should be all that we need. I suppose also a ton of redstone things, some glass and concrete. And now that everything is in shulker boxes, we can go ahead and build it up. This farm design is by Ilmango. It's a simple bone meal farm, but I built the largest version that makes over 26,000 bone meal in an hour. And there we are. If everything is working as intended, I should only have to put a bit of bone meal in this first section and then flick the lever. I think we can quickly connect the output of this farm to the nether trees and test if it works or not. Okay, here comes the first bone meal. I'm gonna need to let it run for a little while because it's gotta be completely full before the tree farm can work. The extra bone meal is starting to get burnt. I think if we flick this lever, okay, the TNT. Oh man, the trees are growing. Oh my gosh, look at how much wood is just floating there. Actually, it's perfect because I was wanting to build the storage for all of these farms down here, and I'm gonna need a bunch of chests and shulker boxes inside of it. Wait, I wonder if the shulker farm is still running. We'll check back in later. So first of all, to make the storage for the farms, I'm gonna need to collect even more items. Keep in mind that I'm leaving out the crafting of most items. For example, I needed several hundred observers. Those require cobblestone, quartz, and redstone. I had to first use my cobble farm. Then I went to my gold farm, where I then used all of the gold to trade at my piglin bartering farm for quartz. After that, I collected redstone at the Cow King raid farm. Oh yeah, I also needed a lot of slime, a ton of honey, I used this farm, and pistons and more quartz and wood and glass and trapdoors and hoppers and item frames. Let's just say that collecting the materials for this storage in the next farm was not easy and took me several hours. Oh, at least now I just need to build the farm. It shouldn't be too bad, I hope. What the heck? This is gonna take hours! And hours it did take. What I didn't realize is that if I messed up even one part, the entire farm would break. It's time to test it. Why is it not working? Oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe this. This one rail here needs to be at a slant. Okay, so yeah, the next farm is done. The really cool part about this farm is that you can do 5 different types of woods. You just press the button and you get whichever wood you want. I guess that means there's just one more farm to do. But before that, I do want to build a super tiny propagule farm right here. Hopefully it should allow me to AFK the mangrove farm and not run out of propagules. Next up, I'd like to connect all of the farms to the bone meal farm and test if each one works. There we go. I also made some super quick glass tubes, and later we're gonna make it so you can change whichever farm they go to, but first, let's get the dark oak tree farm finished. I didn't even think it was possible to farm dark oak before. Okay, I seem to have run out of target blocks again. I seriously need a wheat farm. And there it is. Now, I actually want to test this one. I think what we do is we get a bunch of saplings in our hand and then turn it on, get in the minecart. Now I need to point this direction, hold down my right click. Yes. Dude, it's been like 5 minutes. What the heck? I am thoroughly mind blown. The best part is though, that was the last wood farm I had to make. I do, however, want to quickly set up some redstone to control the bone meal tubes. So if you notice, we have glass blocks here to stop the bone meal from falling, but when I remove the glass, it just falls through the water to the next tube. I was thinking if we set up some pistons here, I could control it with a lever. So... Alright, and that completes the wood farms. If you know your redstone, you can probably recognize that I'm going to be using shulker box loaders here. Now that we have a ton of wood from the farms and the shells from the shulker farm, we gotta fill all of these chests up. Wait, has the shulker farm been working this whole time? There it is. Oh my, yes, it's been working. Okay then, with all the shells and all of this wood, I'm about to craft over 1,700 shulker boxes to put in here. Crafting them up like this is amazing because you can just do 64 at a time. What's crazy is that 1,700 shulker boxes still isn't enough to fully stock this system. However, before we do any more, let's finish this half of the storage. Over here, I'd like to sort some of the more rare items, like the mangrove roots, nether leaves, and apples. Why the apples? I don't know. After over 30 hours of collecting items, building farms, and AFKing at them, these final shulker boxes should finish the wood district. Yes! Now, to basically make sure everything's working, but to also get the items, I'm going to spend a few hours AFKing at every farm. It's been a little while, but before I show you how much wood I collected, I'm legally inclined to say sorry to Team Trees. No, for real though, like first the mushroom trees, then I basically destroyed the mushroom's home, and now I'm literally using TNT to bomb thousands of mass-produced trees. Goodness gracious, when you put it that way, it was absolutely worth it. Because I mean, look at all of this wood. This was from 4 hours of AFKing. We are going to be more than prepared for this future city on the island. Except what I didn't tell you was that the shulker boxes and wood for the city was only half of the equation. You see, this house looks good, but it's all wood. This house also looks good, but it's all stone. I'm pretty sure you see where I'm going. Yep, this stone and wood house looks extra splendid. Next up, we need to collect like 200,000 stone blocks. I was wondering how we might actually get these blocks. First of all, the basic stuff like stone, I can simply get from the stone farm. From there, I can craft stone bricks, as well as cook those in the super smelter to get cracked stone bricks. But then getting something like 31,000 deep slate will be much more challenging. I'm gonna quickly do some research and see if there's a way to farm the block. Okay, I did a bit of research and I think we're gonna build a tunnel bore. To build this machine, we first gotta find the perfect spot. And I think right here in the mesa works. And now I gotta mine all the way down to Y-55. Okay, and now I'd like to set up a beacon here, so... Now this is either gonna be awesome and save a ton of time, or awesome and kill me. And run, run, run. This is not quite large enough. I'm gonna repeat this until it's finished. That should be it. Now I just need to build up the machine, and I already have all the materials except for these weird dead coral fans. So it looks like I'm gonna take a little trip to the coral reef. Now that I have enough, let's build up the machine. And that should be the final part. I think to use the machine, we hit this note block. Please work, please work, please work. Okay, that was loud. Then I think we just come in here and make sure to pick up the items. Yup, that's from just one round. I guess we just need to repeat this until I have enough. I'm also going to collect all of the tough and diamond ores that I find because they'll become more useful later. Now that all the deep slate and tough blocks can be checked off, I want to gather a bunch of dirt for paths and terraforming on the island. In total, I think about 12 shulkers will be enough. I've never really collected that much dirt before. In the past, whenever I had to collect dirt, I usually would get a bunch of shovels and just mine it, but I think there might be a faster and more explosively interesting way of obtaining it. TNT, TNT. That's what it is. Okay, here goes nothing. Roughly a stack and a half from just one TNT. So then if we get a bunch of these and just keep exploding them, there's our first inventory. This method is actually really good. And here we are, the last shulker completely full. Not too shabby. That only took like 30 minutes to get that much dirt. But let's not talk about this area. Also, now that we got all the dirt, let's use some gravel to make coarse dirt. And 4 shulkers should definitely be enough. So I was looking at the new 1.19 blocks, and I absolutely love the mud blocks. And I even more love the packed mud blocks. I'd like to collect about 10 shulkers of mud in total, or just over 17,000 blocks. That's kind of a lot. There are mud farms that I've seen, but the issue with those is that they're slow and they use dirt, which doesn't really make sense because then I'd have to go out again and mine more dirt. So then I guess that leaves the option of finding a mangrove biome and mining the dirt. Yo, finally, that took like 30 minutes. I was considering doing the TNT method again, but honestly in this case, I think just digging it up is faster. We definitely got enough mud, but I also want to get the packed mud block. Except this block is challenging to get because it requires wheat, like a lot of wheat. If I want to make 4 shulkers of packed mud, that requires 6,912 wheat. Just mining hay bales isn't going to cut it this time. I think instead, I'm going to make a quick wheat farm. Let's just get the materials really fast. Concrete, hoppers, dirt, pistons, and redstone dust. All right, now to build it, I went ahead and built it in the wood farm district because that allowed me to connect it to the bone meal farm. To use the machine, we just have to come down here and isn't that pretty cool? That's nearly 2 wheat every second. I'm gonna run this machine until there's enough wheat to make all the packed mud blocks. That should be all of it. But I was noticing that as I made some tools, my levels got pretty low. Time to AFK at the gold farm. All of that gold is from 1 hour of AFKing. This is actually really convenient because if we take the gold to the pigment farm, and yup, they got some more blocks we need. Soul sand and blackstone, but also a ton of quartz and string. Oh yeah, I'm also now level 1015, so that's pretty cool. I was hoping that with all this quartz, I could craft diorite, which I could then turn into andesite, but to get 10 full shulkers of these blocks, that would require an insane amount of quartz. So I think it might just be better to go out and mine the blocks. And as for where we can mine the blocks, I think in the wall of this perimeter will work perfectly. Oh yeah, to make this perimeter where we're mining the blocks, I used a world eater. It could be argued that it's another farm, but I'll leave that to you to decide in the comments. It has been a while. I finished collecting exactly 4 shulkers of diorite, 4 of andesite, and 2 of granite. I got so many of each because I just love using these blocks in houses. You know, we've been collecting blocks for so long that I think I'll do the final couple ones in a montage. Lots of bricks and chiseled bricks. There we go, sandstone and smooth sandstone. There we go. That's everything. I'm going to now move everything to the island and we can see the grand total. Jeez, about 250 shulkers completely full of items that we're going to be using to build this city. Doing the math on that, that's a grand total of 432,000 items. Well, I guess that's it for today's video. Nope, now it's time to plan the entire city out. Don't worry, this will be quick. Anyways, I wanted the island to be split into 10 different districts. The castle district, the poor area, religious area, rich, the farms, industrial, the mine, the courtyard, the market, the ships, and the surrounding islands, as well as finally the dragon. One small thing, I think we should cover the entire island in beacons to make the work here easier. How about we quickly craft up 100 beacons? Oh, wait, I don't have enough nether stars. That's the 100th nether star. That's 100 beacons. And that's 72 beacons on an island. For real though, this project is probably going to take me over half a year to finish. If you're interested in seeing the progress, please remember to subscribe and turn notifications on so that whenever I post the next part, you don't miss out. Wait a minute, no way, someone just told me that if I get a charged creeper to blow up my shulker boxes, they duplicate. Here goes nothing. Well, I did a ton of work on the Castle Island and built many farms in the last episode, so let's take a little break and start working on a world record. This is a single map, and did you know that you can expand it? So this map is now the max level, and look at how large that area is. Wait a minute, I wonder what the largest map you can make is. So I found that by placing item frames on a wall, and then by getting two maps next to each other, you can make a mega map. Now the cool thing about this is that there's no limit. Okay. Yup, so today we're gonna make a humongous map of my entire world. If you didn't know, maps are kinda laggy and have sort of been known to corrupt worlds. Oh man, I hope nothing bad happens. The thing about this map room is that I can't just make it. I also want the surrounding area to look good, and that's gonna require a lot of preparation. I have an idea on where to start this project, but first we're gonna need to collect some items. Whoa! So I just downloaded this texture pack that makes item frames invisible. Part of me kinda wanted to surprise you with floating items and stuff, but I got too excited. This looks so cool. So first of all, we need some black concrete, iron blocks, some beacons, obby, and then a flint and steel. Then we need to find a location to build this map room. Well, this area already has a lot of builds, and from the tests I did on the creative world, I don't really want to make the map room near any of these because I'm pretty sure it's gonna lag. How about this place? Yeah, it does seem to be out of the way for the most part. Please be surface, please be surface. Ever since the Caves and Cliffs update, whenever I make a new portal, I always end up like 40,000 miles underground. Anyways, this place is kind of cool. First of all, I do want to mark out a concrete circle for the map room. I definitely didn't mess that up several times. From edge to edge, that should be 101 wide. And by doing the math, that means there are going to be over 8,021 maps for an entire layer. This is certainly a pretty massive place, but even though it's marked out, it's not quite ready for the maps. You're going to need a little backstory. Ryan the Skyan. Yes, this man. He recently challenged me to dig a big hole in my world. At first I said no, then he told me again, and I still said no. But then this itching thought grew within my mind. What if I dug a big hole? So I got back to my employee Ryan and said, I'm gonna blow up a massive hole. Thank you for the idea. Oh man, was that a mistake to say?
Last I checked, the game was still called Minecraft, and they had not relabeled it to TNT Craft, alright? So think about what you're doing. Just dig the hole with your hands, okay? You're an adult. I think. I don't know if you are.
So yup, I guess we're gonna get started with digging this 350,000 block hole by hand. Okay, to at least make this as fast as possible, let's set up a full beacon here. And hey, on a quick side note, have you checked if you're subscribed? These videos take a really long time to create, and if you enjoy them, it would mean so much if you clicked that button so you don't miss out on any future content. Cool, next I want to set up a temporary storage, that way when we're mining the hole we can save all the blocks, which should come in handy later. Well anyways, this shovel's about to break, so let's go do what I do best and over-prepare. First of all, I want to hit up the main storage. Yes, I knew we had just a few tools here. Now at the gold farm, we can quickly repair all of them. So now that we're severely over-prepared, I'm going to quickly mine this entire layer of dirt out. Have you ever stayed up to 2 AM mining thousands of dirt blocks and listening to Lo-Fi Girl? No? Just me? Hello, Mr. Donkey. What? I just blinked and it's gone. That's so weird. Minecraft can be so laggy sometimes. There's our first chest, second, third. I will definitely find a use for that in the future. But you know what's next? All of the stone. And I think the way we're gonna do this is by mining a single quarter of the hole at a time. Maybe we should create a trench on these first two sides. Why does this look so cool? If we start on this first quarter, will I still get the haste effect the whole time? Hello there, Mr. Pillager. Oh man, that's tragic. Look at all the resources in these chests. The funny thing is that I'm completely full on stone, so... And that is the final block of the entire First quarter. Yeah, it's definitely kind of boring, so I think I'm going to change things up. Rather than mining this next quarter, we're actually going to do the opposite side. So that means 2 more trenches. Okay, that's kind of cool. Sometimes these minecarts will have enchanted golden apples. Will I be lucky? Nope. I've concluded there are 3 ways to mine. First of all, we can do the fun way, which is 1 layer at a time. This way is perfect for when you get bored and you want to change. Second, we got the 2 layers at a time. I know, it's creative. This is faster than the 1 layer, but for whatever reason, it really makes you bored. Finally, we got the 3rd method that I like to call the efficient method. Here we mine 5 or 6 layers wide, and then we take it all the way to the ground. Hey, look, it's a wandering trader. Got anything good? The game keeps despawning these mobs. Okay, for real though, that joke is probably getting old. Ooh, look at this. We got 2 minecarts next to each other. Not totally sure if that's rare or not. As I finished up the second half, I made sure to collect all the items for the upcoming phase of this map room. Yes, sir, that's halfway. Look at my stone mine stats. Well, I'm kind of in a dilemma right now. I either do the small side and be lazy, or the large side and not be lazy. I mean, it's all gotta go eventually. Might as well do this half. Yo, is that a spider spawner? No, 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 oh gosh, okay. Please ignore that overreaction. I was literally still full health. As I continued to mine, the hours flew by until I found something amazing. Yo, it's a pig. This thing can absolutely not die. Let's quickly mine you down, buddy. Careful now. Great, good, perfect. If this pig dies, then I will literally delete my hardcore world. So the stakes, you could say, are pretty high. Or the pork chops. I had to. There we go, the pig is at the bottom. Now I need to just block all the places he can die. Now that the pig is safe, I'm gonna finish mining this 3rd quarter. And finally, just block the mine shaft off. 1 more side, let's do this. Oh, we also just got this sheep that fell into the hole. I'm gonna quickly get a name tag on him. Done here, and then Jeb is your new name. Perfect. So it's the same deal. We need to keep him alive. And this is the final block here. I think I'm gonna mine this one by hand to celebrate. And there it is, 350,000 blocks all dug by hand. Before we move on to decorating this pit, I wanna get all these items out of here. So... in case you were curious about what I got from this entire place, about 20,000 dirt and grass, 10,000 granite, diorite, and andesite, and like 2 shulkers full of iron and coal ore, plus 200,000 stone blocks. Now we're gonna start with beautifying this mess. Wait, is beautify even a word? Oh, it is. First of all, this concrete ring can go. Now I need to explain the plan to you. If we were to just place the maps right now, it would look pretty bad because there wouldn't be any light. I might have a solution to fix this, but it's gonna require about 5 shulker boxes full of glowstone. Hopefully, please. Back when I AFK'd for 30 hours to get the emeralds for the emerald beacon, I also made sure to save all the glowstone from the witches. And that should be all we need. Then we can just come into the pit and start filling the floor in. I just had an idea. If we place some beacons around the pit, I should get the speed effect, which would make placing the glowstone on the bottom a lot quicker. Now we got 4 max power beacons surrounding the pit, and I should be able to finish placing the glowstone. Oh gosh, I just had a thought, and now I can't unthink it. Why does this glowstone kind of look like a bunch of beans? I told you! And now you're never gonna unsee it. We're gonna quickly take a little break from the pit and start the fun part. For this mysterious fun part, we're gonna need a bunch of iron, redstone dust, and then compasses. That is a weird word. Now to the sugarcane farm, let's grab a few shulkers of this. Finally, we can use these materials to make some maps. However, these aren't for what you think. These are planning maps. Well, actually, they're just normal maps, but you get what I mean. These maps are gonna help plan where the rest of the world is gonna go. You see, the size of this pit is very intentional. It's completely perfect so that it will fit my end portal transformation as well as the castle island over 10,000 blocks away. Well then, we better get started. Okay, I think we need to start here and go in that direction. Oh my, wait, how do I even keep these organized? How about I put them in my inventory? Okay, oh no, the inventory is full. Let's quickly land and try to empty these into a shulker. That's not too bad. I guess we just keep repeating this for another 100 maps or so. This should be as far as we need to go. Now, I believe we need to turn left and then keep going. Yo, it's the Skull Island. Let's go. I cannot wait to see this on the final map. But for now, because we got our planning maps, let's get back to the beans. I mean, glowstone pit, and place these on the floor. Wait, which way do they go? Oh, here we are. All right, now I just need to keep these organized. And these should be the last ones. Wow, that looks insane. Just imagine what the end result will be. Speaking of the end looks, this place with all the walls and everything is kind of just ugly. So what we're gonna do is leave the hardcore world and go on to a creative world. Now I'd like to design a building that can go on top of the pit. I just got a really cool idea. I need to run it by you. You know how maps allow you to quote unquote observe the world? What if on top of the pit we make a massive observatory? So instead of making you watch me build this, you're just gonna watch the time lapse. I had to learn how to use World Edit, and once I did, making this only took about 4 hours. This is just the first half though, because now we need the walls for the pit. So anyways, now we can hop back onto the hardcore world. No, wait a minute. So I just checked and this lower part isn't gonna fit. I'm gonna need to remove an additional layer around this entire circle. Here we go then. Water, hello? Oh, no, 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 no. Block it off, come on. Okay, Dream, where are you at? That was actually a pretty cool clutch. That should be it for mining the entire hole. To actually make these walls look good, we're gonna need to collect a huge list of items. Fortunately, I think we actually have all of these. Some gray concrete, deep slate tiles, all the andesite we collected from mining, smooth stone that we can quickly cook at the super smelter, cyan terracotta, polished andesite stairs, stone brick walls, andesite slabs, finally a bunch of obsidian. Now that we have all the materials, I want to start by making an andesite and obby ring down here. And now let's go ahead and build the walls up with a cool time lapse. Ladies and gentlemen, whoa, that's kind of an illusion. Do you see it too? All right though, now we need to build the observatory on top, which is also going to require about 76,000 items. The first of which is about 8,000 black stained glass. How much do we actually have? Okay then, yeah, we're gonna need some more. Don't villagers sell glass? Yes, they do. Not too shabby, but okay. The villagers can't trade anymore because it's night. So actually, let's take a trip to the end really quick. And now we can take this sand and then cook it into glass. Then the glass turned into black stained glass. And now that that's settled, let's go ahead and get 5 shulkers of deep slate tiles. And then by using the stone cutter, we actually save on materials. Now some polished andesite. Oh no, it seems like we need some stone. Do you think we have enough stone? There we go, stone bricks and then black concrete. Next we need some black stone. So first let's AFK at the gold farm for a bit. I'm pretty sure that's enough. Now to the piglin farm. Nice, that checks off the blackstone. Now this one's kind of tricky. We're gonna need a bunch of obsidian. And I sort of used the rest of what I had for the lower walls. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this in one breath. Obsidian.